Hey there, and welcome to Daily English Talks. Let me ask you something. Why is it that you can easily understand English, but when it's time to speak, everything just shuts down? Ever had someone ask you a super simple question in English, and suddenly, your mind goes completely blank? You know the vocabulary, you've studied the grammar, but still, nothing comes out? Here's the truth. That's not your fault. Your brain isn't broken. And no, there's no such thing as a belly brain or a heart brain. You've got one brain, and it can be trained. In this video, I'm going to break down exactly how to overcome this problem. But before we dive in, drop a comment below and tell me, what's the biggest obstacle you face when trying to speak English? Why speaking feels so tough, and why it's not just you. If you've ever felt stuck, like your mind is racing with thoughts, but your mouth won't cooperate, you are definitely not alone. You know exactly what you want to say. Yet when it's time to speak, nothing comes out. You freeze. Your hands tremble. Your heart starts pounding. Your brain goes blank. And a tiny voice whispers, "Maybe I just can't do this. Maybe I'll never speak English fluently." But here's the truth. There's a reason it feels this way. And it's not because something is wrong with you. You're not the only one who's felt this way. And yes, you can speak English. What you really need is a shift in how your mind works with language. When I first started learning English, I could recognize a few words, maybe understand a sentence or two. Reading? Fine. Writing? Manageable. But when someone turned to me and casually asked, "How's it going?" I'd freeze. I couldn't respond. My brain was translating every single word, like a slow computer. And by the time I figured out what I wanted to say, the moment was already gone. I felt awkward. I felt defeated. I thought maybe my English just isn't good enough. But that wasn't true. My issue wasn't English. It was the way I was learning it. I'd been taught rules and vocabulary. I'd been drilled on grammar. But I was never shown how to actually talk. And talking, real, natural, in-the-moment speaking, is a whole different game. When you speak, there's no pause button. You don't have the luxury to mentally pull up a grammar chart. You just have to go for it. And that is what terrifies most learners. The fear of making mistakes, the anxiety of sounding silly. It's what holds people back. So they stay silent, waiting for that perfect moment to speak. But here's the kicker. That moment, it never shows up, unless you create it. Talking doesn't get easier by waiting. It gets easier by doing. Speaking is something your brain gets better at through use, not through silence. The first time I ever tried to speak English to someone, it was in a small bookstore. I wanted to buy a book. I knew the word. I could form a sentence in my head. But when I looked at the shopkeeper, panic hit. My thoughts vanished. I just pointed, he smiled, and gave me the book. But I walked out feeling crushed. I wanted to say something. I should have said something. And yes, I cried a little that day, but I also made a promise to myself. Next time, I'll speak. And I did. The next time, I said one sentence, then two. My grammar wasn't perfect, my accent was strong, but I spoke, and that's what truly counts. Because every time you speak, no matter how small, you chip away at your fear. One phrase at a time, your confidence grows. And here's something important. You don't need perfect grammar. You don't need a massive vocabulary. You don't need to sound native. All you need to do is speak. Even saying hello, is progress. My name is a step forward. That's how the brain learns. Through repetition, through action. The more you talk, the more natural English feels. So, if you've ever felt stuck, nervous, or just unsure, let me tell you, you are not broken. Your brain just needs practice. And guess what? You can train it. You will train it. That's exactly what we're going to do together in this journey. From today forward, promise me one thing. Don't wait. Don't search for the perfect moment or the perfect sentence. Just start. Speak to yourself. Speak out loud, even if it's just a single word. That one word could change everything. Your English-speaking brain is already inside you. It's time to wake it up. Let's start training it together. How your brain learns to speak. Your brain is an incredible machine. It can learn almost anything if it's shown the right way. Think back to how you picked up your first language. You didn't study grammar rules or memorize definitions as a baby. You listened. You mimicked. You babbled sounds until they became words. Those words slowly turned into phrases. Then full sentences followed. Sure, you messed up, but your parents cheered you on. They clapped, they smiled, they encouraged you. That's the natural way language is learned. Not through overthinking, but through connection and experience. And guess what? That's exactly how your brain wants to learn English too. But here's where many learners take a wrong turn. They bury themselves in grammar books. They memorize dozens of words a day. They try to force fluency through sheer effort. But when it's time to speak, their mind goes blank. Why is that? Because your brain isn't a filing cabinet for rules and vocabulary. It's more like a habit builder. It thrives on repetition, rhythm, use. It doesn't care how many charts you've memorized. It cares what you practice. Think about it. When you say good morning, do you pause to translate it in your head? No, you just say it. Your brain already knows it. It's been repeated so often, it's automatic. That's the secret. The more you use a word, the deeper it gets wired into your brain. The words you never speak, your brain forgets them. Simple as that. So if you want to speak English comfortably, don't try to learn everything. Focus on what you actually use. Say those words often. Speak them out loud. Use them in easy, everyday conversations. That's how they stick. I remember my own journey. I had notebooks packed with advanced vocabulary. I knew big words like opportunity and determination. But when it came to saying something simple, like, "Can I help you?" I froze. That's when it hit me. I was studying English like a student, not using it like a speaker. So I made a shift. I focused on the essentials. I practiced daily use words, spoke them aloud, built small sentences, and stopped chasing complicated vocabulary. That's when things started to change. Your brain loves repetition. It listens. It copies. It builds strong connections. The more you repeat something, the deeper it sinks in. That's why methods like shadowing, where you repeat what you hear right away, work so well. You're not just saying words. You're training your brain to follow the natural rhythm of real speech. And don't underestimate the power of emotions. When something makes you laugh or cry, your brain locks it in. That's why boring lessons vanish, but a funny video, you'll remember every word. So pick content that stirs something in you. Songs, cartoons, stories, podcasts that speak to your heart. The more it touches you, the more it stays with you. Fluency isn't about being fast or flawless. It's about being consistent. A bit of speaking, some listening, a little thinking in English. Every single day. That's how your brain moves from learning to using, from hesitating to flowing. And one day, you'll just notice it. The words will come. Naturally, without effort, without translation. That's the moment we're working toward. So don't get discouraged if it feels slow. Don't worry when you forget. Every word you say makes your brain stronger. Every time you listen, you feed it more. Keep going. You're building something real, something lasting. Trust the process. Trust your brain. It was built to learn language. It just needs regular, joyful practice. Let's keep going. In the next chapter, I'll show you how to build a speaking habit, even if you're learning all by yourself. No teacher, no speaking partner. Just you, your voice, and a growing, confident English-speaking brain. Build your speaking habit, even without a partner. There was a time I truly believed that to speak English, I had to have a teacher. That progress only happened when I had someone to talk to, someone to bounce ideas off, someone who could correct me as I spoke. But honestly, I was alone most of the time. No classes, no partner to practice with, just me and my thoughts. I felt frozen. So many things I wanted to say, but no one to say them to. That silence, it made me want to give up. Then one day, a different idea hit me. What if I didn't actually need anyone else? What if I could teach myself to speak just by using my own voice? So I started with something small. I stood in front of the mirror and said, "Hi." Then, "How's it going?" I looked myself in the eyes and smiled. Yeah, it felt weird at first, awkward even. Talking to a mirror? I almost laughed, but I stuck with it. Each morning, I'd add one more sentence. Each evening, I'd repeat it again. Eventually, that awkward feeling, it disappeared. It just became a part of my routine. I stopped waiting for someone to talk to. I became my own conversation partner. And to my surprise, it actually worked. Speaking to yourself is more powerful than it sounds. Your brain is listening. It starts learning how your mouth moves, how the language sounds coming from you, how it feels to speak from inside, not just listen from outside. You don't need an audience. You just need to start. Talk while you're cooking. Talk while walking. Look in the mirror and say something simple like, "I'm making tea. I like this shirt. The sky is clear today." These little sentences, they matter more than you think. I also started recording myself on my phone, one sentence at a time. Then I'd play it back. At first, I hated hearing my voice. It didn't sound like me. It sounded stiff. But with time, that stiffness faded. My words came out smoother. My voice carried more confidence. And hearing my own improvement, that kept me going. I even made little prompts for myself on sticky notes. Describe your favorite food. Talk about your weekend. Share what you did today. No pressure, no need for perfection. Just speak. Let one sentence become two, then three. And eventually, it starts to feel natural. That's how real habits are built. Of course, there were days I didn't feel like saying anything. Days when I felt too tired or too self-conscious. So I made a deal with myself. Just one sentence a day. That's it. One line, out loud. No expectations, no pressure. And the funny part? Most days I ended up saying way more than one. That first sentence opened the door, and I walked right through it. No fear of mistakes. No one watching. Just me and my voice. Sometimes I even talk to objects. This is my pen. My pen writes smoothly. I use it every day. It might sound silly, but it worked. The goal isn't perfection, it's comfort. It's using English in your real life, in your real world, with the things around you, the routines you already have. So if you're on your own, don't let that stop you. You're not helpless. You already have everything you need: your voice, your thoughts, and your desire to improve. Speak out loud. Talk to yourself. Record your voice. Let English become part of your daily rhythm. Tiny steps, done daily. That's where transformation begins. And remember this: fluency isn't magic. It's not luck. It's not some secret gift for a chosen few. It's a skill, built one word at a time, one day at a time. So don't aim for something huge. Just promise yourself this: today I'll say one sentence, out loud. That small promise, it'll take you further than you think. In the next chapter, I'm going to introduce you to something that completely shifted how I speak. It's called shadowing. It feels like magic, but it's backed by science. And it can rewire your brain for fluency. Are you ready? The hidden power of shadowing speak naturally, like a native. When I first heard about shadowing, I didn't really get it. It sounded like just repeating words like a parrot. Nothing more. But I was wrong. Shadowing turned out to be one of the most powerful techniques to train your brain to speak English, not just understand it. Yes, it might feel strange in the beginning, even a little awkward. But trust me, it's like unlocking a hidden superpower. This one method helped me speak more fluently, more confidently, and far more naturally than ever before. And now, I want to pass that secret on to you. The idea behind shadowing is simple, but the impact is huge. You listen to a native speaker, maybe in a podcast, a YouTube video, even a cartoon. And then you speak along with them in real time. No pauses, no rewinds. You just go with the flow. Imagine it like being on stage. The native speaker is reading your lines, and you're performing them at the exact same moment. You try to copy their pace, their tone, their emotion. At first, it's overwhelming. You'll mess up, skip words, fall behind. And that's completely okay. When I tried it for the first time, I chose a short, slow video, something easy to follow. I pressed play and tried to speak along. My voice was shaky. I couldn't keep up. I only caught half the words. But I didn't give up. I stuck with that one video for an entire week. Every single day, I shadowed it. Again and again and again. And then something amazing happened. By the third day, I was already doing better. On day 5, I was nearly speaking in sync. And by day 7, I nailed it. Every word, every tone, every pause. That's when it hit me. This really works. My brain was adapting. I wasn't just understanding English anymore. I was thinking in English. Speaking felt smooth, effortless, real. It didn't feel like studying. It felt like having an actual conversation. Shadowing sharpens your ears. It loosens your tongue. And it teaches you how real English sounds. The rhythm, the flow, the pauses and stress. You stop thinking about grammar and start feeling the language instead. And the best part? You don't need a teacher. Just a video, some earphones, and 10 minutes of focus. Pick a topic that excites you. Choose a voice that you enjoy. And if it feels too fast, no problem. Slow it down using playback speed. Start easy, go steady. But whatever you do, don't stop. I used to shadow while walking, headphones in, quietly speaking to myself in the park. Some people looked, some smiled. Maybe they thought I was on a call. But I didn't care, because I knew what I was doing. I was training my brain to speak with confidence. You'll make mistakes, you'll stumble, and that's how it's supposed to be. Every try makes you stronger. Every repetition builds your voice. Just like a workout, consistency is everything. And one day, without even realizing it, you'll be speaking English naturally. That's the magic of shadowing. So here's your challenge. Pick one short video, just 5 minutes. Press play and speak along. Don't worry about being perfect. Don't overthink it. Just try. Even if it feels weird or tough, keep going. Your future self will be proud, and your voice will thank you. In the next chapter, we'll go even deeper. We'll move past memorization and learn how to see English rather than just read it. Because when your brain sees the language, it remembers better. And when you start seeing your words, you'll speak with even greater power. Stop memorizing, start visualizing. Back when I was learning English, I used to make endless lists of vocabulary. Every single day, I'd jot down 20, 30, even 60 new words in my notebook. I thought repeating them again and again was the key to speaking fluent English. But a few days later, I couldn't remember any of them. They looked familiar, but distant, like people I once met, but couldn't place. My brain had erased them. I felt frustrated, even defeated, like all my effort was slipping through my fingers. Then I had a realization. Your brain isn't built to memorize random data. It thrives on imagination. It holds on to things it can see, feel, and interact with. Take the word apple, for example. If you can picture a shiny red apple in your hand, maybe even feel its texture, your brain locks onto it. But if you just read the word on paper, it barely registers. This is why memorizing can feel impossible. And it's the reason most learners forget what they study. So I changed everything. I stopped relying on word lists. Instead, I began to visualize. Whenever I learned a new word, I would shut my eyes and picture it. If it was book, I'd see myself holding one, flipping pages, maybe reading under a lamp. If the word was rain, I'd imagine droplets on my face, hear them tapping on the roof, see the cloudy sky. Suddenly, those words stuck. They didn't fade away. They became part of me. You don't need to memorize English. You need to experience it. Turn every word into a mental image. Make every sentence feel like a scene from a movie. Hear kitchen? See your kitchen? What's on the counter? What can you smell? What are you doing? Say it out loud. I'm in the kitchen. I'm brewing tea. The mug is warm in my hands. Now your brain has something to hold on to. It believes it, and because it believes, it remembers. Think about how children learn to speak. They don't use flashcards. They don't drill vocabulary lists. They point and say dog. They hear the word. They see the dog, and the connection is made. You can do that too. It's never too late. Your mind can still create vivid, powerful images. I started doing this daily. I'd pick 5 words and build a little mental story with them. I wake up, I open the window, sunlight hits my face, I drink cold water, I feel awake. It all played like a film in my head, and that changed everything. I didn't just know the words. I could use them effortlessly, and you can do the same. Whenever you learn a new word, ask yourself, what does it look like? What's the texture? Can I build a tiny scene with it? Here's a tip. Use tools that engage your senses. Scroll through photos on your phone, draw quick sketches, watch short videos, say the word, hear it, see it, feel it. That's how language becomes real. That's how it becomes natural. If you're tired of forgetting what you study, this method is your answer. Don't just learn English, live it. In the next, we'll deal with something that holds many learners back: overthinking. I'll teach you the talk, think, talk technique, a powerful strategy to stop hesitating and start speaking with confidence. Let's break free from mental roadblocks and unlock fluent thinking. The talk, think, talk pattern. For a long time, I made one big mistake. I truly believed that thinking everything through before speaking was the right thing to do. I'd mentally rehearse every sentence, double-check the grammar, search for the perfect word. But by the time I was finally ready to talk, the moment had already passed. The person I was speaking to? Gone. And I was left feeling slow, stuck, and frustrated. I used to think, maybe my brain just couldn't keep up. That maybe I wasn't quick enough. But that wasn't the real problem. The truth, it wasn't intelligence holding me back. It was habit. I'd been trained to think first and speak later. And that had to change. Most learners are told this: think, then speak. But here's the twist. Native speakers often do the opposite. They speak first, pause briefly, and then speak again. They don't overanalyze. They don't wait until the thought is perfect. They just say what's on their mind. That's how real conversation flows. Fast, a little messy, but natural. Let's take a moment to be honest. People don't talk in flawless sentences. They just talk. That was the simple truth I had to accept. I had to rewire my thinking. So I started building a new rhythm, something I now call the talk, think, talk loop. It's simple. Start talking, pause to think, then keep talking. Don't wait for the whole sentence to form in your head. Just begin. Say something small, like I want to. Pause. Then let your brain catch up and continue. Eat. Later, maybe you'll add more and eat some rice today. That's how real speech happens. One piece at a time. Not one perfect breath. I practiced this every day. I gave myself permission to be imperfect. I'd say something rough like, I go shop. Then I'd pause, think, and build on it. I go to the shop. Then maybe, I go to the shop to buy bread. No judgment, just expression. Speak, think, speak again. And something amazing happened. My speech got smoother, more natural. The hesitation faded. The fear started to disappear. This loop works because it takes off the pressure. When you overthink before speaking, your mind tightens up. You start chasing perfection, and that slows you down. But if you speak first, even if it's messy, your brain wakes up. It starts searching for words. And once it starts, it keeps going. That's how fluency builds. You can try this anywhere. Talk to yourself. Say anything. Keep it short. I like. Pause. I like music. Then add something. In the morning, I like music. Keep building. You don't need fancy vocabulary. Just move your mouth. Push your thoughts forward. One word at a time. I also started recording myself. I'd say short phrases, then listen back. Each time, I got a little better. Mistakes didn't stop me. I just kept going. Sometimes I'd use a timer, 30 seconds, to speak on one topic. No plan. Just use the words I already knew. Each time, I felt a bit more confident. Because the goal isn't perfection. The goal is comfort. Let go of that pressure to say everything just right. Focus on keeping the words coming, even if they come slowly, even if they're simple. Say things like, "I don't know the word," or "Let me think." These are natural phrases. They give you time and keep the conversation going. Always remember this: speak, then think, then speak again. This loop builds momentum. It keeps you engaged. It shuts down that silence that makes you freeze, and it gives your English a natural rhythm. Soon enough, you'll be speaking more, overthinking less, and your sentences, they'll start to flow, naturally and confidently. In the next, we'll look at something that scares many learners: mistakes. But don't worry, they're not your enemy. In fact, they might just be your best teacher. Mistakes, your stepping stones, not stop signs. There was a time in my life when making a mistake felt like the end of the world. Each slip-up felt like a spotlight shining on all my flaws, exposing how small and incapable I thought I was. Whenever I said something wrong, I just wanted to vanish. My brain would scream, "Everyone's watching. They think you're stupid. They're going to correct you, and not kindly." So what did I do? I went quiet. I convinced myself that if I just waited until I could speak perfectly, I'd never have to feel that shame again. But that perfect moment, it never arrived. The silence only made my fear grow deeper. Then one day, something changed. I was chatting with a friend, nothing formal, just talking, and I messed up a sentence, used the wrong verb. She smiled, not to mock me, but gently, and said, "That's okay, you're close. Try again." So I did. And this time, I got it right. That small moment, it changed everything. I realized something powerful. Mistakes aren't the end of the road. They're the beginning of the journey. Fluency isn't about never being wrong. It's built through repetition, through failing and trying again. Just like a baby learning to walk. They stumble, fall, get back up, over and over again. And when they do, we don't criticize them. We cheer them on. "Try again," we say, with love and encouragement. So why don't we treat ourselves that way when we make mistakes in English? Getting it wrong doesn't mean you're failing. It means you're doing. Every single mistake is proof that you're trying, that you're stepping outside your comfort zone. And that's where real progress lives. Mistakes are messages. They tell you where your brain needs to grow, and your brain, it listens, it learns, it adapts. I still remember once writing, "I go to school," when I meant I had already gone. Someone laughed, and yeah, it stung. But then I learned. The right sentence was, "I went to school." And that little mistake, it stuck with me forever. It taught me more than a grammar book ever could. So if you truly want to train your mind to speak fluent English, welcome your mistakes. Smile when they happen. Let them be your teachers. Then speak again. And again. Fluency doesn't come to the perfect. It comes to the persistent. Eventually, I started keeping a notebook of my mistakes. Every time I got something wrong, I'd write it down. I'd jot the incorrect version, then the correct one right beside it. Week after week, I'd look back at those notes. Slowly, the old errors disappeared. Sure, new ones showed up, but not the same ones as before. That is what progress really looks like. So speak even when you're unsure. Say the wrong thing. Mess up your grammar. It's okay. The important thing is, You're speaking. And the more you speak, the smoother it all becomes. You don't need perfect grammar to be understood. You need courage. You need truth. You need momentum. The fastest learners out there, they're not the smartest. They're the boldest. They make the most mistakes. They learn the most lessons. And they move the fastest. You can be that person too. So stop hiding. Stop running from your mistakes. Walk toward them. Because every mistake I make, it moves me forward. Tell yourself this: mistakes are my allies. Because they are. In the next, we'll go deeper. We'll talk about how speaking from your real emotions, not from memorized scripts, can unlock truly natural English. When your words come from your heart, they flow freely and leave a lasting impression. Let's dive into that next. Speak from the heart. When I began learning English, I focused on the basics. Phrases like, "Hi, how are you?" or "My name is Amelia" felt safe and simple. I practiced them until they rolled off my tongue without thinking. But anything beyond that, I felt completely stuck. I remember wanting to say something meaningful. Something like, "I'm feeling anxious today," or "I'm happy because I passed my test." But the words wouldn't come. It wasn't because I didn't know the vocabulary. It was because I didn't know how to speak from what I truly felt inside. One day, a friend asked me, just casually, "How are you feeling?" And in that moment, I wanted to tell the truth. I hadn't slept well. I was tired. But instead, I gave the usual answer: "I'm fine." Even though it wasn't true, I didn't know how to go deeper. That moment stuck with me. I realized then, real fluency isn't just about getting the grammar right or nailing the pronunciation. It's about connection. And connection starts with emotion. The brain remembers feelings far more than it remembers facts. Say something real, and it leaves a mark, not just in your mind, but in your heart. So I made a tiny change, but it had a big impact. If I was sad, I said it out loud. "I feel down today." If I was excited, I let myself say, "I can't wait for the weekend." These weren't complicated sentences, but they were real. And because they were honest, they came naturally. Soon, it became a daily habit. I'd stand in front of the mirror and ask, "What's going on inside me?" Then I'd answer, in English. Sometimes it was simple, "I'm okay today." Other times it was deeper. "I feel nervous about tomorrow," or "I'm a little lonely right now." Over time, something unexpected happened. My English became more alive. It stopped sounding like memorized textbook lines. It started sounding like me. Like I was truly expressing myself in another language. You can do this too. Don't just stick to the surface. Go deeper. Instead of saying, "I like pizza," try, "Pizza reminds me of home." Or change "I'm fine" to "I feel a bit overwhelmed today." These are the kinds of thoughts that stick because they're true. Eventually, I started writing too. Just a few lines in a journal each day. I felt tired, but I pushed through. I'm proud of myself. Writing helped me understand what I was feeling. Reading those lines out loud helped me speak with more confidence. It gave me control over my voice. Don't worry about being perfect. Emotions don't follow grammar rules. If all you can say is, "I feel bad," say it. If you need to say, "I love you," say it. That's not just English, it's your English. Here's the beautiful part. When you speak from the heart, people really listen. They connect with you. You're no longer just using the language. You're living it. So try it now. Ask yourself, how am I really feeling? Say the answer out loud, or whisper it, or write it down. Just don't hide it away. Let your words rise from your heart, not just from your head. In the next, I'll show you a way to keep practicing English all day long. No textbooks, no classroom, no pressure. Just the quiet, powerful rhythm of your own thoughts. Let's discover that next. Practicing without practice. Daily brain hacks. I used to believe that learning English only happened during designated study hours. You know, those times when you sit down with a book or watch a video and tell yourself, now I'm studying. But then something shifted. I started noticing that my speaking actually improved on days when I wasn't even studying at all. Just listening, thinking in English, even silently in my head. Things became clearer, faster, smoother. I was absorbing the language without even trying so hard. That realization changed everything. It wasn't about cramming in more hours of study. It was about adjusting my daily habits. Just a little bit. So I made some tiny changes. First, I changed my phone's language to English. At first, it was confusing, but gradually, it became natural. Words like messages, settings, and battery just stuck. Not because I memorized them, but because I saw them. Every single day. My brain picked them up, automatically. Then, I started thinking in English. Just small thoughts. Nothing complicated. Instead of saying, I'm thirsty in my native language, I'd think, I'm going to drink water. Phrases like, this looks good, started popping into my mind, on their own. No one else heard those thoughts, but my brain did, and it listened closely. Eventually, those little thoughts grew into full sentences. I also started using my surroundings. I'd look at something nearby, like my chair, and say in my head, this is a chair, it's brown, I sit on it. I looked at my shoes. These are my shoes. I wear them to school. My bag. My bag feels heavy today. Nothing fancy, but very real and useful. Another trick? I asked myself questions in English. What time is it? What am I doing right now? What should I eat? Then I'd answer, it's 7 o'clock. I'm walking. I'll eat rice. These small Q&A moments kept my brain active and in English mode, even when I was all alone. Sometimes I'd just walk around and narrate what I saw. The sky is blue. The trees are green. That cat is running. It turned learning into a fun, private game. I wasn't waiting for someone to talk to me. I was the conversation. Music helped too. I played English songs, even when I didn't understand every word. I let the rhythm flow through me. I repeated the lyrics, sang them. Yes, I made mistakes, but I kept going. It made my ears sharper and my tongue quicker, and the joy I felt made me want to keep going. Even in public, I'd mumble little English sentences to myself. On the bus, in line, while walking. Quiet whispers, just for me. But my brain caught every word, and my mouth got the practice it needed. You don't need extra time to study. What you need is more English in your everyday life. A few seconds here and there, they add up. They matter. Your brain loves those tiny, effortless touches. They feel light, natural, easy. So here's your challenge. Stop waiting for the perfect study session. Use what's already around you. Your phone, your thoughts, your daily routine. Think in English, even when you're zoning out. Describe your world in simple phrases. Repeat short affirmations like, I've got this. English is becoming part of me. I'm learning every day. This isn't harder work, it's smarter work. It's language training without the pressure. This is how fluency is built, slowly, calmly. And most learners, they miss this trick completely. In the next, we'll tie it all together. You'll learn how to turn thoughts into fluent, confident speech. That is when your English brain truly begins to shine. From thoughts to speech, activating your English mind. Look at how far you've come. From fear to courage, from silence to sound, from translating every thought to actually thinking in English. This isn't just another step. It's a shift, a breakthrough in motion. You've reached a point where things begin to connect. You're standing right on the edge of something new. It's time to take your thoughts and turn them into speech, to move from hesitation to comfort, from doubting yourself to trusting your voice. Your mind is ready to operate in English, not as a task, but as second nature. Think back to the beginning. You felt uncertain. Speaking seemed out of reach. Every sentence was filtered through grammar and translation. You held back, afraid of making a mistake. But look at you now. You've spoken to yourself, out loud and proud. You've practiced shadowing with intention. You've described images with clarity in English. You've communicated even when no one was there to hear. You've built real habits. You stayed the course. You got stronger. Now it's time to level up. Let go of waiting. Release the overthinking. Let your voice rise. You've shaped your mind with patience, with repetition and kindness. Now let English blend into your life, not just your lessons. Start your day with English. Even a whisper matters. Good morning. Today's going to be amazing. While brushing your teeth, speak the obvious. This water's freezing. On your walk, narrate your world. The clouds look heavy. That flower is so bright. Let English breathe in your routine. Speak your mind. Say what's around you, even if it's one sentence, even if no one hears you, because you are listening, and that's everything. No need to rush. No need to sound like anyone else. Just be you. Be consistent. Every time you speak, it gets easier to think in English. Every word brings fluency one step closer. And one day, you'll just speak. No translating, no pausing. Just flow. And when someone asks, "How did you become so fluent?" you'll smile and say, "I taught my mind to believe I could." You'll explain, "I spoke even when I was scared. I kept going when I felt tired. I trusted the small steps. They mattered." Because that's how fluency is built. Not from a magic method or a perfect class, but from showing up every single day. You already have the tools. You've heard the insights, but most importantly, you believe in yourself now. And that belief is the strongest tool you've got. So speak. Speak right now. Speak in this very moment. Don't wait to be perfect. Don't wait for someone's approval. Let this be your reminder. No one else can walk your journey. You are your best teacher. Your voice is your best classroom. And your heart already knows the way. Your English mind isn't just working, it's thriving. And this is only the beginning. If this message lit something in you, tap the like button so others can find it too. Leave a comment. Tell me, what part of your English mind feels most alive today? And don't forget to subscribe. I'm here to help you speak English with heart, with confidence, and with stories that matter. Keep speaking. Keep discovering. Keep growing. Your voice is powerful. And this is just the start. Thank you for being here.